I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
From Yokohama, Japan, this is Eric Jones. Welcome to EJ's Voicecast, my journey to becoming a professional voiceover artist. I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you listen to many, many more. Thank you. Hello all. For the last 4 weeks, I've been attending a closing credits class on Casting Call Club, and this one was about character creation. It was hosted by Timothy Banfield, also known as Funny Guy Tim, or Funny Guy Timmy. And this course helped me out with, bringing me out more and more from that introversion, as if you will. And it was a lot of fun. So the course lasted for 4 weeks and had homework assignments. At this point in the script, I still have like one more homework assignment to do, and this script will not be flowing in time sync. So I've been kind of busy. Every time I started this thing, something else popped up. So I, gotta add that in the podcast, So it kind of held off. It's been like a week. I'm a week overdue from when I should have posted this. So the feedback was quite useful. And my last homework assignment was to create, take the characters that I have already created and create a couple more. But with those characters, there are lines. There are about 10 lines. And they were basically, hi, hello, how's it going? See you later. Watch where you're going. Things like that. Stuff you will find in game that NPCs will use. So it's not a dialogue that you're having with somebody else. They're just one-liners, one words here and there. So you take those and you read them just like I did. Hi, space, hello, space, see ya, space. And you pick a tone for the character. You could be angry. You could be sad, super happy, nonchalant, whatever your character's feeling at the moment. You read each one of these lines in each one of those voices. So the first line, you do your highs, hellos in a happy voice. Then the next one would be in an angry voice. And the next one would be in a sad voice. You put all those together, clean them up as best you can without processing too much. You don't want to over-process them. You want to process them just enough so that they're clear without any errant background noises. You bundle them up into a zip file and you go to a site, any site that'll do this, but this particular one is called Game Dev Marketplace. I'll try and put that link in the show notes. And once you bundle them up, you go on the site, create an account, go through their process, and then you upload those and you put a price on them, because there are all kinds of game developers, indie game developers especially, that will use those, and they'll download that pack for however much you charge, as long as you don't charge too much. Use those on their characters. Like, oh, I like this one. I like that one. I like this one. I like that one. They'll put them in there and voila, you've made some passive income, and you just keep adding to it. You don't just put that one zip file in there. You keep creating them. That's the part I'm in right now. I'm going to start that this week. So now you've got some extra income coming in. And as Funny Guy Tim put it, he said he made like $4,000 off of those. I don't know if it was over the course of a year, course of several years, but he pulled in some money. So why not? And even if you don't get into voiceover as, a character in a movie or something, you might be able to get your voice in a game. And your friends will hear and go like, hey, that sounds like so-and-so. You can say, yeah, that was me. Ha ha ha. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. The other part, and I didn't put this in the write-up, was ACX. ACX is a site that's associated with Amazon, and they do audio book reads. So you log in, get you an account, and you pick a genre that you're interested in reading in that you think you can do, whether it's romance, spy novels, just pick whatever it is you're looking for and go ahead and audition and button it up, send it off, and then you wait. I think I waited maybe a week, and I got a reply back and said, no, we're going, your voice, you didn't get it. We're going with somebody else. Like, okay, I've only done one. So yeah, never expect to get the first one. That's another avenue I'm going to pursue. Nothing's guaranteed, but if you get an audiobook read, and it's a small audiobook, you get experience. You get to learn how that works. It's something you can handle depending on how much time. So if you run a 9-to-5 job, you don't want to take on an audiobook that's 400 pages. Maybe you take an audiobook on that's 100 pages or less. Get your chops and then work your way up. So that is my plan of attack on that front. The coaching feedback I got from this class based on my voice, not just how to get gigs and how to, work in this environment, covered a few good areas. One of them actually brought out my niche. So I did this character called Radio Announcer Guy. He's a character I created that is based around the 1930s and 1940s announcer style for radio programs. Based on the sound I have with my recording, it lends itself to that style. I'll also be working on how to change that sound to take advantage of other niche areas and broaden my base. Case in point, something that's going to come up later, but it has to do with a project that I'm now associated with on Casting Club Call. It calls for a radio sound between police officers and dispatchers, police officers on a SWAT team, and other members of the SWAT team where you're making radio calls. So I went out, grabbed a couple of sound files that are radio based, have clicks and static and whatnot, threw that in there with my voice, put it together, and the person liked it. I'm like, great. That's going to require me to go back and do some practicing because that was kind of tough to get the way I wanted it. But it worked out so far, so I need to revisit, work on that area. But hey, it's nice. It's an unpaid gig. Yeah, that's, the way the cookie crumbles. Got to get some experience somewhere. But I threw that on my resume. I threw that on my casting club page. I also threw it, or I'm starting to throw it on my Backstage website also. Things are moving forward, and I'm enjoying myself. He wanted me also to not have so much bass. So if you notice, my intro is a lot clearer. You don't hear as much bass. Part of that is probably this new mic I got, Electro Voice RE20. I switched off of the Rode NT1A after that class. One of the conversations I had with one of the other coaches, Jamil Brown, we were talking about microphones. I was talking with a friend at work who did audio engineering stuff, and he mentioned this mic. So I got it from him used. This mic new is like $700. I got it from him for like just over 300. So, hey, why not? I tested it out. It worked good, had a good sound. People liked the sound. I jumped in. The color, it's like olive drab. And if you're old enough to know what olive drab is, it's basically camouflage color. What you see back in the 60s and whatnot when people wore just, OD green uniforms in the military. I wanted the black one, but hey, it works. It's doing its job. So color, I can live with. So yeah, that course, that character course was really good. I also have now, those two, actually 3 people. There was an Australian guy on there. does audio work that I can bounce things off of. So I can make recordings, test them out, get them to where I think they're right, post them, and they can give me some quick feedback and say, hey, this sounds good. Hey, this doesn't sound good. Hey, do this, do that. One of the things I really want to do is get somebody to do an audio checkup on it and see what they hear in the background, make sure my room here is treated properly, make sure things are, coordinated properly, fixed properly, set up properly, all those things. Yeah, there's a lot of work behind it, a lot of things to pay attention to. But once you get it dialed in and you make your templates for certain things, then you're good to go going forward. You don't have to work as hard, but you still have to pay attention. So on the casting club front, I've gotten my first paying gig completed. That is for a game that's coming out in 2026, and it's going to be on itho.io on that website. That's where they said they're going to post it. The name of the game is Daiichi, and it's a game based off of the power plant in Fukushima. So I did both English version of the character and a Japanese version of the character. Easy, because I just asked him to, throw it out there in Romaji, and I can read the Romaji easily. So I recorded it, posted it, asked him, hey, what's coming down the pipe? He says, oh, basically you're done. That's all I needed. I'm like, oh, cool, fine. Might be some, NPC character work coming up later on for that, but 1 or 2 lines, but pretty much it's done. And one of the things I got out of Casting Call Club course was how to set up your payment. So I didn't know about it, but they mentioned there are royalties and there's, full payment and all these different ways. So I asked him, he said, how do you want to get paid? And I said, hey, is there a way to do royalties? The game sells. I get a piece of the action every time a game sells. It could be $1. It could be $5. It could be $10, whatever it is. It's residual income. You can't pass that up. So the other game that I'm involved with is a police procedural. It's about a overworked police unit, a SWAT team in a town, of course, all fictitious as far as I can tell. I don't see any names that I recognize. I mean, it could be anything. The name, obviously is real. I'm pretty sure there's a town with that name somewhere, but it doesn't specify. So that's the one I mentioned where I had to do some recording and then add in some special effects. That was fun. So I posted that. That's still ongoing. I've gotten my role assignment and we'll see how that flows. The other one that I started with, IDW Transformers, that is going to start recording, I guess, in another few weeks because my role doesn't show up until episode 10 and they're on episode 2. So that started the beginning of this month. So there'll be other table reads and chance to be other voices. So I got to come up with some character voices. So this week that's on the agenda to create more characters and make them not sound like me or any of my other characters. With having said all that and talking about setting things up and residual income and whatnot, I started my Fiverr account again, a third time. So I opened it and I actually got a client this time, but due to my part not reading things correctly, whatever it was, my pay system did not work. I thought I set it up properly, didn't work. Every time I tried to set it up, they came back and said, our system doesn't work with that pay system. The pay system I want to use is PayPal. For some reason, it allowed me to select it. But then when I went to confirm it and link the accounts together, it was grayed out. I don't know why. I asked about it, and the service that I guess Fiverr uses came back and said, we don't use PayPal because there's a problem with PayPal. But I talked to a few people and they said, yeah, I use PayPal. So, they don't know what's going on. So then I signed up with a secondary one. That didn't work out. And then a third one, that didn't work out. And then I went with a fourth one and I didn't think it worked out. And they said it was going to take 3 days to do this check, background check, whatever. Anyway, that one did work out. So now I have two. So basically I have one and a backup. But when I tried testing it, I was getting errors. I'm still working on that. I haven't heard back from Fiverr's support team about what's going on with that. But, more testing to be done. Yeah. So I've been busy and that's been fun. And each time I started this write-up, something new kept popping up and then something else popped up. Oh, I got to get that in there. I got to get that in there. So that delayed me about a week. So trying to stay consistent, and I need to just start having a hard cutoff and also probably make a running log of what's going on so I know what to put in. It's not that hard. It's just, like I said, being consistent. So not leaving things open-ended and then, I never get anything done. So at this time, this podcast is going to get edited because I got a lot of, gunky throat here. I don't know why. I did my process, brushing my teeth and gargling and all that fun stuff. But whatever reason, there's some gunkiness going on. I'm going to try and fix that up so you don't hear me in the podcast doing that. All right. Thanks for listening. As always, feedback and subscriptions are always welcome. Highly encouraged. The link is at the bottom of the show notes. In case you're looking at those, posted the transcripts. If you have advice or suggestions, please share. Thank you for joining me on EJ's Voicecast. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? My right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. In the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?